Let's see what his journey has been. I mean, whatever he has shared, we very proudly share with you. And each day we see some 99th or 100 percentile score, but it does not reduce my joy as a teacher to really present these scores to you because you can definitely learn from each of the stories. Right. First of all, congratulations. This is really, really awesome. And I think one burden off your back now.
Yeah, it's down.
Definitely. So, Aditya, just take us through your prep journey, your weak areas, and how is it that one, now that you're on the other side, how is it
Hmm,
that one can structure GMAT preparations for maximum effect? Then your
hmm.
entire prep journey, what materials you refer to, then the portal usage, then your real exam in
Yeah.
chronological order. Yeah.
So the first question I'll address was my weakest area. Personally, I faced a lot of difficulty improving my accuracy in data insights.
Hmm.
I used to score like 40% to 50% accuracy when I started off in the
Hmm.
sectionals and the mocks,
Right.
because of which I could never exceed the 655, 675 kind of a score range, no matter what I did in quant and verbal. Uh, and My first challenge was to, get DI down right. So
Hmm.
for that, I exclusively and extensively utilized, the post-class tests. I think there are
Right.
12 to 15 tests. And there is also one pre-class test series, which again has
Right.
another 13 sets of 12
Right.
questions each. So that's a lot of questions. Good enough practice. And to be honest, it was slightly harder than what was tested during the official exam. So
Okay. Okay.
I never had any, shocks or surprises during the actual attempt that helped me sail through the section quite well.
All right, all right. How about your verbal and quantitative sections, initial preparation, everything? Just take us through your prep journey, whatever it was like.
So my starting step was to get the basics right. So I went through all the video lectures on
Mhm.
the software that I have from Top One.
Right.
Post that, I there was a schedule plan also provided in
Hmm.
the Excel sheet format. So I was, I stuck to it. I didn't change the schedule at all. I went through it, very judiciously.
Hmm.
Uh, did the pre-class work. I went through the lectures, and then I did the post-class work. That was the exercise for the initial 3 months.
Right.
Then after that, after I've completed all the post-class work, then I started giving the sectionals and mocks
Hmm.
for another 1 or 2 months, and I gave GMAT an attempt after that.
So let me just understand, apart from, let's say, the DI section, what were your major roadblocks? Was it conceptual challenges with verbal, probably with data sufficiency? I'm not sure. I mean, maybe it was, maybe it wasn't. So, like CR, RC, DS, and obviously IR that you've mentioned. So,
Mhm.
and how did you rectify? What part of the content helped you? Which approaches, etc.? Just give us some detail.
So for RC, my weak area was long format RCs.
Hmm.
Uh, I was out of practice, but for that, I referred to the LSAT papers provided as a part of the
Right.
course material. It's not very similar to the questions tested on GMAT, but it gives you
Hmm.
that temperament, and it, gets you on a track and gives you enough warm up. To be honest, you cannot
Right.
expect harder than that. So that was a major game changer when it comes to RC.
Hmm.
For CR, I faced difficulty in assumption questions,
Hmm.
but there is an ACT long sitting
Hmm.
session specifically for
Hmm.
assumption valuation type questions. That really helped me out. It's like roughly 90 to 100 questions in one sitting.
Right. Right.
I put my heart and soul into it. It's
Hmm.
after I completed that, I gave every question at least 4 or 5 minutes for analysis. So it was an entire day worth of practice
Hmm.
that it took. That really helped me with CR.
Hmm.
In terms of DS, I faced difficulty in non-math related DS, which I think is becoming a trend now.
Right,
Uh,
right,
I-
absolutely.
yeah, recollect the last DS question in my official attempt was a pure CR question. Both
Yeah,
A and B were strengtheners, and I had to select which one was sufficient and which
right,
one.
right, absolutely. It is there, I think. Yeah.
And for that, there is a specific non-math related.
Non-math practice we've also given in the
That
portal.
was a game changer again,
Right.
because I did not find any practice question similar to that one in any other resource. It was
Mm-hmm.
only top that I used. For quant, the major challenge has been timing.
Mm.
Initially, I used to make a lot of calculation mistakes. I used to also overspend my time on a couple of questions.
Mm.
But I kind of figured out the optimal technique for each question. It's not about solving it rigorously when it comes to GMAT. It's about
Right,
applying the most optimal technique and getting the answer fast.
right,
So it's about a lot of practice in quant. I
right.
did start off with a very good accuracy even in quant, even though I'm an engineer. it took a lot of practice to
Right,
get
right.
accuracy up. Yeah.
Also, the exam experience, what was your section order? And then was there anything unusual? Could you manage the pacing properly? Just let us know, please.
So I picked Quant, Verbal, and DI as my order,
Mm-hmm.
specifically because I felt DI would need a little bit of warm up.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Quant would give you warm up for the quantitative kind of questions, and Verbal would help you out with the non-math related questions.
Mm-hmm.
So I was pretty sure I'd go with that order during the exam. In terms of any surprises, to be honest, quantitative, I found it slightly easier than the
Mm-hmm.
old format GMAT. Uh,
Right.
at best, they will give you like 2 to 3 questions that are, let's say, a little extra calculative,
Mm.
just to throw you off. But if you're able to keep calm, nothing should stop you from, acing that section. I finished it in 25 minutes, and I,
Oh,
yeah, I
okay.
took rest for the rest. I took 5-10 minutes to go through each and every question I attempted just to make sure I didn't make any calculation mistakes. So I
Mhm.
ended up with the Q90. I didn't have to change any answer either. And then
Right.
rest of the 5-10 minutes, I just, took deep breaths and got myself.
Right, yeah. So you didn't start verbal at that time. That's what it should be the best practice if you finish early. Very nice. So nothing unusual in quant. We can summarize it like that. How about verbal? Anything unusual this time? You wrote about long RCs quite a lot. So let me
So
just, yeah.
I practiced both from official mocks. I took 6 practice exams from a
Right.
GMAC. But apart from that, I also attempted 7 mocks from Top One's portal.
Mm,
Uh, what happened was in the official practice test, I did not find any long format answers. I don't know why
mm.
this happened. Probably if I had attempted it once more, the bank would have updated.
Right, right.
But in the actual exam, I got 2 long format RCs, and one of them had 6 paragraphs.
Oh, okay.
And it was something related to science, and it was, very challenging to understand.
Mm,
Uh,
mm,
Little surprising, but just because I had practiced LSAT RCs, I
mm.
mean, I was able to get it down, although it took slightly more time than required, but my accuracy was okay. I only made 3 errors in that section overall.
All right. How about CR overall? Pretty
CR is
regulation stuff? Mm.
it's easier than the questions on the portal, definitely,
Okay.
and same level as the official practice exams. Nothing too challenging, to be honest.
Okay. So DI, which was your difficult section, how did it fare this time? Please.
My difficult areas would be non-math related data sufficiency questions,
Mm,
because I tend to, if I see a number, then I, suddenly get
mm.
onto one kind of a mode of approaching the problem.
Right, right.
And I tend to miss the words, specific words, which would
Mm,
throw people off, and ultimately I'd pick up an, insufficient kind of an option.
right.
I had to improve that, and it happened. I think a couple of questions in DS 437. I forgot the exact number.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
that plus the non-math related DS
Mm-hmm,
section. That particular sectional test on top one, I mean, after attempting, I gave it a good amount of analysis.
mm-hmm,
I sat for like an hour just to understand how
mm.
typically the questions can tend to throw you off. So I was
Right.
ready for that. So this time I didn't face any problem. Uh, the other section that really, really challenged me was two-part analysis.
Mm,
Uh, I tend to take roughly 5 to 6 minutes when I started a
right,
DI practice. And during the exam, I told myself, if ever I feel that I'm going to exceed 3 minutes, I'm going to guess and move on.
right,
Uh, no question is worth spending more than 3 minutes, to be honest. Uh,
right.
I did guess one question.
Mm-hmm.
It went wrong, but because of that, I was able to focus on the easier questions that came later on.
Okay.
That's the challenge, yeah.
So otherwise, pretty regular stuff. Had you had already seen graphs, tables, MSR, two part. I mean, there is a lot of practice. So nothing that was so unfamiliar that you just couldn't understand.
On the contrary, I'd say I had exact similar question. I don't know how this happened. Bubble chart with market shares. And I made a mistake when I attempted that question from the top one portal, but I did not repeat the same mistake on the exam and I got it
Right.
right. I think that changed. I mean, one question wrong can, alter
Yeah,
your.
yeah, it can really alter your percentile sometimes by 5 percentiles. And I've seen that happen in DI particularly quite a lot. So now just say you are on the other side. So is there anything that you would advise people who are starting out or people who are in the middle of their preparation who will be watching this later on video or something, or who's just about to write the exam? Certain tips, certain do's and don'ts, let us know, please.
I mean, in terms of the exam, the key is to, not, I mean, keep your time management game really strong, I'd say.
Mm,
Never spend more than the required amount of time on any question and avoid any ego.
Mm.
especially I've seen this among engineers, they tend to have a lot of ego when it comes to quantitative section.
Right.
And if they're not able to get a question right, I don't know,
Hmm.
they just start working on it even more and more. And by the time they realize that they've lost a lot of time on it. So that's a very bad habit. And similarly for people who are into, reading and all, they might have an ego on the verbal section,
Hmm.
but just it's just an aptitude exam. Don't take any ego. Just move forward if you're not able to solve any question. That's
Okay.
number
So
one.
that's
Number
one. And
two, yeah, two, to practice very diligently. I mean, don't take the exam very lightly. Uh,
hmm
but I mean, it demands some amount of effort from your end. The time of preparation would be different for different people, but consider your ability and then put the amount of effort that it requires. And I'm pretty sure if you put enough effort, you will definitely be able to ace the exam. Nothing stopping you, to be honest.
did you expect 725? And were you happy after that when you saw it? Tell me the feeling as well.
I mean, the day before the exam, I gave an official, not the day, 2 days before the exam, I gave an official mock number six, and I scored a 785. So I was expecting,
785. Okay.
I was
All right.
expecting,
So they are pretty easy. I mean, compared to
yeah,
the real exam, there's always a lot of fluctuation. So, okay. So you were expecting more probably.
yeah, slightly more, but I'm very happy, considering the effort that I put, and I mean, the results are, I can't ask for more, to be honest. It's enough for
Super.
my, yeah,
Super. Yeah, it is obviously enough for any school, any scholarship that you aim for. So I know this time you must be willing to apply now, right?
yeah, I am
So
considering.
sure, sure. Round one only.
Round one, definitely 3 to 4 schools, and maybe round two, a couple more if needed.
Right. So do keep in touch, and it's an absolutely splendid performance. Eventually, nothing succeeds like success, as I say. I know personally your journey has been a bit long and tiring, maybe something that you just don't want something like this to prolong, but it did happen in your case beyond 2 3 months, and it's really heartening to know that it happened. And sticking to the basics, sticking to practice, sticking to time management, being consistent, probably towards the end
Yeah,
of your preparation. As you said, 7 days you spent on the portal. So
I
did you
did.
do everything more or less? You said seven FLTs, full length tests, but apart from that, sectionals and topic wise, everything.
Uh, I saved a couple of mocks just in case I didn't score enough, to be honest. Two, three mocks
Okay.
left. No, but
Okay.
I exhausted all the sectionals, all IR practice I completed. I mean, from start to end. 2
Okay.
weeks I put a lot of time into finishing that up and getting my basics right before the exam.
Superb. Superb. Okay. Do keep in touch, Aditya. Thanks for your time. I know you're traveling. You were traveling last night. So, yeah,
Yes, I was.
still making time. Really thank you for
No
this.
problem.
Bye bye.
Thank
Yeah.
you so much.
Right.
Good luck to
Bye.
everyone. Thank you.
Bye.